Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Y'all, I know we're going, times are hard. We talk about inflation, cost of living, just yada, yada, yada. Same old thing for the last few years. COVID kind of jacked up a lot of stuff. Well, people, moving to Texas, buying houses, paying 10, 20,000 above market value or asking price for houses because it's cheaper out here than it is in California. I mean, people, government, whoever, driving up the cost of things. But it's making it to where, people can't afford to live alone. Get these people online who act like they make so much money, especially these black women who say they know people make $200,000 easy, without, what did Ebony K. Williams say, without batting an eye. And you look up the stats, it's like, no, most women, the average make $30,000 to $40,000 a year. The average household is anywhere from like 70 to 100,000 maybe. Which means that not a lot of people making a whole lot of money is being single. So they say, stop the cap and tell it like it is. Life might be just a little better for you. But like I say, the way prices are, like, what is it? Try to get a meal at Wendy's and it's like $13 for a meal that used to cost maybe $6 or $7. But yet your pay has not gone up at all, and your insurance goes up every year, but your pay does not reflect the cost of your job insurance. And eventually you're working just to pay insurance. So then you're getting two jobs, one to pay insurance and one to pay your bills. It gets hard. So then when you are, say you're like a married couple, and you're making 100,000, a little over 100,000 a year as a family, as a unit, you're able probably to take care of your needs, maybe some wants, but you can be comfortable. You manage your money right. You can be comfortable, live a fairly decent life. But then there comes the problem of divorce. Then when the two of y'all used to living a certain lifestyle, now something happens and now somebody wants to get a divorce, and now y'all think about, I have to do better without you. Then you go to court, and then all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, I can't afford to live in this house by myself. I can't pay it. Even if as a woman I'm getting, alimony, child support, or whatever, still can't afford to live here. But I like this house. I like this neighborhood. The man, same way. If I had to leave and pay child support, alimony, and this, that, and the third, I won't be able to live anywhere. I had to go back and live with my mama or live in like a 1 bedroom or an efficiency studio apartment. And barely can afford that, and I'll be working 2-3 jobs just to pay the electric bill. So someone comes up with the bright idea of, we can be divorced, but we're just gonna live together. And I say from the jump, that has got to be the dumbest idea I ever heard in my life. And I tell you why. Because there's still emotions involved. You see what I'm saying? If you're not willing to move away, move out, start on your own from scratch, no matter what, then that means if you're thinking about being divorced but living in the same house, that means there are still emotions involved, especially if you got children, which means you done been married for years. It means y'all done made a lot of decisions together, positive, negative, successful, not successful, whatever. Y'all have, done it all together. So when people think about moving in together, staying together but being divorced, the one thing that's really gonna affect that is when one of y'all decides to date somebody else. Because now that person contrary to popular belief or contrary to what's on that paper, them court documents, the emotions, the feelings are not going to go away. Which brings me to this story. And this is out of yahoo.com by way of Fox 4 News, which is local here in the Dallas area. It says, Plano woman shot ex-husband after finding him on the phone with illegal woman, affidavit says. Now, when they say ex-husband, I'm like, well, they usually say that when somebody gets killed or something like that. But no, that's not what this is. So let's get into it. It says, an arrest affidavit obtained by Fox 4 revealed more details about a Plano shooting that involved a woman and her ex-husband. Meredith Nunley, 38, is charged with the murder of her ex-husband, 55-year-old David Nunley. Now, I wonder why. Okay, let me continue. That's a big age gap. That's like, what is that? 17-year age gap. It's a pretty big age gap, but they're both grown, so we'll just leave it alone. Plano police received a 911 call on Friday night from David Nunley saying, I've been shot. So officers arrived at home on Monticello Circle to find David in the garage, shot in the chest with a cell phone nearby, but no weapons, according to the affidavit. While police searched the home, a family friend called on 911 and told police she had received a call from Meredith, who said she had shot David. The friend told police that the Nunleys were divorced, but were still kind of living together. See, that's kind of dangerous. It really is. If they're, like I said, there's still feelings in there. Meredith allegedly told a friend she had shot David because she had found him on the phone with another woman, according to the documents. Police were able to ping Meredith's phone and found her parked in an apartment parking lot on West Park Boulevard. Hell, probably her boyfriend's house. So that's what's crazy about stuff like this, because usually sometimes one person, they'll be out there trying to live their best life, trying to live, hot girl summer, and out there going to the clubs, going partying, trying to date, talking to different people, all out, and introducing them to the kids, putting their stuff on social media, all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that's what Meredith did, but that's, I believe, is a common occurrence. Otherwise, the other person usually is kind of low key. Not all out there in public telling business, this and the third, trying to keep it low key, probably from their kids, unless something get real serious, but not really want to confuse the kids. It's bad enough you done got divorced, but now you don't want to make them think that there's no way in hell y'all gonna get back together. So this person's probably, like, say, talking to a person, but on the phone, not being all out there, just minding his business. And for some reason, that person found out, heard the conversation, got mad, got pissed, all upset over somebody she's no longer with. Now, that's the thing too, when y'all living together, you kind of are lying to yourself, kind of leading people on that maybe things could possibly get better. Because, let me keep reading. I'll tell you why. It say they used the drone to initially look at the vehicle to see who was in there, and then made phone calls. That way they could talk with her, explained Plano police officer Jennifer Chapman. Officers approached the vehicle and asked what had happened that night. David lost his temper. He got physical with me and I defended myself, she replied, according to the affidavit. Start outline. The affidavit said Meredith told officers she was just in a trance when she shot her ex-husband and asked police if he was okay. She eventually surrendered to the police. The report states the gun Meredith used to kill David was on the passenger seat. After her arrest, Meredith told the police that she shot David after finding out he was talking to an illegal woman, according to the affidavit. Court records show David filed for divorce, and it was finalized in 2022. So they've been divorced about 2 years. You say he filed for probably at least a year or two before that, if everything ran smoothly and there really was no contention. But they got kids, got property. And it said both parties had joint custody of 3 kids at the time of the divorce. And said they was kind of living together. So they probably both had keys to this house. I don't know who was living there. But they both had keys to the house. So it was just, still there for each other, but for some reason felt it was best to not be together. Like I say, don't make sense to me. The friend who called police Friday night said the Nunleys had been living together. Police also know the home had a history of calls for service involving disturbances and child abuse. Brittany Murskow lived in the neighborhood. She saw the Nunleys together recently. We've seen them come and go. We saw them on Easter going to church together, obviously with the kids. Now, see, something like that, like I said, that's the type of thing that make you think that could, like, you kind of playing both sides of the fence. You go on outings together, especially Easter. You're at church praising, praying. You think, oh man, this is God sent. Maybe we can get back together. Y'all think about it, but then once he leave, he think about all the stuff he's been through, and he's like, now it's kind of odd that he filed for divorce, because they say 70 to 80% of all divorces are filed by the women. It's very rare that the dudes file, but he filed, so it must have been something just, I don't know, either something thrown off going at the house, or maybe he thought it was something else out there for him, whatever the case may be, but he did it. Let's say I heard from other neighbors that you could just hear them yelling at each other. Nothing good. It's just sad. It's just sad, really sad. I think it's heartbreaking. And you never know what's going on inside somebody's house. And that is 100% true. Should you better know what's going on in your own house? Do you know what your kids are doing every day in their room, on their phones, or when they at school? No. So you definitely don't know what's going on next door. You can hear things, this, that, and the third, but police said the children were not home at the time of the shooting. That's messed up. Now you got kids who just that quick lost both parents over an emotional decision that could have been avoided. I believe the scriptures say, I don't know exactly the verse, I can't think of it, but it says that you can be angry, but to not commit sin. So it's okay to be upset about certain things, disappointed, frustrated, get it. But the way you handle it is another thing. Meredith is being held at the Collin County Jail on a $500,000 bond. Man, this is, like I said, this is a sad story, because now the kids that lost both parents. First they had divorced, but they were still kind of living it together. But now you got one deceased and the mother going to jail probably for the rest of her life. And as a kid, that's got to be traumatic. So now who do you have? So they got 3 kids. Man, they 17 years apart. Interesting. That's a very interesting story. But anyway, now you got to see how it's going to affect the kids in the long run. But anyway, like I said, to me, I never thought it was smart to live in a house together and y'all divorced. Now, I don't like separation. Now, these are things that I can say I've been through, saying my earlier years. Didn't live in a house when I got divorced. The moment I got them papers, I was gone. But talking about like breaking up, stuff like that, it was like, nah, did that a couple of times. I thought it was cute. After that, I was like, nah, not playing this game no more, because we're not breaking up because of us. There's something else going on. So like, ain't gonna do it. But that's another story for another time. But anyway, no. Living together, being divorced is not smart. Economically, if you can't, if you're afraid of finally realize that you can't live, by yourself and live a certain lifestyle, well, doggone it, get some counseling. You went to church on Easter, go back to church, get you some counseling, try to get your family back together and right that wrong. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Let's dialogue, have intelligent conversation. You know how we do it around here. Support the channel. There's 4 ways you can do it non-monetarily. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please hit that share button. That like button and that share button. Comment and subscribe too. But if you want to support the channel monetarily, super thanks, super chats, or click on one of the links below in the description box. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.